Girlpreneurs and guests, my name is Robert Maruli, co-founder of Girlpreneurs Worldwide. Now, some of you have probably not seen me before or even heard me speak. I've been in the background, but I decided in 2013, let me come out, and come out swinging I am. I am glad to be part of your 2013 challenge, and I want to give you what I know. I consider myself maybe part educator, or I'd say teacher, but I'm a full-time, let's get it done however we can kind of man. And that's an effort and an energy I'm going to bring to you every time that we meet. Now, you probably already know why we started as a company, but a couple of the reasons are pretty strong or ring strong to me. One is understanding the psychological aspects of the brain, how the mind works, and two, the physiological aspects of the brain, how the different parts of the brain function. I think it's important, if you want to be successful, you need to know why you're doing the things that you're doing. I'd like you to write down a couple of words. One is willpower, and two is experiences. In a short while, I'm going to show you an illustration to give you a better understanding as to how these two things relate to our human mind. And I hope you learned something. Take a look. Now, the two words that I asked you to write down, one was experiences, and then the second was willpower. Now, if we look at the awesome drawing on this other part of the page, what I've done is I've marked off a couple of areas in the brain, and that's supposed to be a brain there. X1 is called the hippocampus, is where the hippocampus is, and X2 is where the prefrontal cortex is. Now, if we there's an area of focus I want to show you here that will give new meaning to to addiction. So the area X1, what I've drawn here is a nerve cell or a nerve ending. What happens with addiction, there are a couple of chemicals that are secreted or released in the brain when you do something that's addictive. These two chemicals are known as one, serotonin, and then the other one is known as dopamine. And what happens, an interesting thing that actually happens is when our brain releases these chemicals, they're actually picked up by, these are called receptors, these little orange-like looking things. They're picked up by receptors. And the more and more you actually do that thing, the receptors kind of become numb to the actual activity. So you need to increase this chemical production. And so that's why you find people who really like doing this, who get a high off of doing something, tend to want to do more and more of it. These things could be good, these things could be bad. In our case, we're focusing on the toxic habits that we want to get rid of. So what are we going to do during this challenge? Well, we want to teach you different ways to enhance that W word, right? Which is, give me a minute over here, that W word, right? And this is your willpower, because through willpower, you are able to slow down and eventually stop all the toxic habits or the addictions that are plaguing you. Well, there you have it. Who'd have thought for a second that what you're doing on a continuous basis could have been an addiction or a toxic habit, or the potential of your activities to become addictive. So now, given this new understanding, don't you think it's important to adopt new habits? Don't you think it's important to build up willpower? Through these activities in the challenge, you will learn a lot. More so, learn a lot about yourself as a person. And hopefully that will change the way you do things in order to make you the kind of person you'd want to be. That is the CEO of you.